So you actually touched on a really good point. A lot of students, especially, view mathematics as a tool, something that you use to get to the next step. One of the things that we really try and address is the fact that there's more to math than just what's on the next test. So can you speak to kind of some of the other areas that math kind of touches into, is around you? You spoke about the beauty of math and kind of the fact that it's kind of omnipresent. Can you speak a little bit more to that aspect?
So, if you mean other applications beyond cryptography?
Applications, and also why math is a subject that deserves our attention and our respect and or even our love.
yeah, you're right. Absolutely. I mean, the point is, of course, it is a beautiful subject in its own right. And beauty, you see, is appreciation is something that has to be cultivated. You cultivate appreciation for something by exposing yourself to it. So music, for example, the more music you listen to, the more you develop your taste. I like this less. I like this style more, this suits me. That kind of taste is developed by being exposed to more and more music. Same thing with art.
Right.
The more art you see, the more artists you talk to and you read about, the more you start understanding the depth, of the art.
Right.
And math is just like that. The more math you do, and the more you talk to people who are doing math, the more you start falling in love with it.
Yeah.
Remember one thing, that knowledge is really communicated from life to life. That is, it is not. You get a lot through books nowadays, through the internet, but it is the living passion, of the practitioner.
Right.
That is the most valuable commodity, and you cannot package that. At least so far, we have not found a way to package it. And so, if you can come into contact with somebody who's sort of, I wouldn't say infected with it, but just fired up with the passion for the subject, any subject actually, it's not just math, any subject. If you're lucky enough to come into contact with such a person, and if you're lucky enough to open your mind to that influence, then you pick it up as well.
Right.
So I think that's the way to learn math. But actually, that's a recipe, an algorithm for any knowledge that you want to get. It's an important lesson for us to hear in an age of that we live on Google, and we think that everything can be looked up on the internet.
Yeah.
A lot of information can be, but it's not computers that do math. You see, this is another point. Who does math? It's human beings.
Right.
And so that our humanity does express itself in some form in the math. You may not be able to pinpoint, here it is, but you can be sure it's there. And you can also tell that if the more of that is there, the more people react to that work as this is inspired work, or they say this is beautiful work.
Yeah.
There's also these adjectives that people use. When somebody says something is a beautiful proof, you can, from one point of view, you can say a proof is a series of logical deductions.
Right.
How can that be beautiful? Yeah. And people talk about a beautiful proof. People talk about an ugly proof.
Yes.
How can logic be beautiful or ugly? And so what that tells you is there's something else there.
Yeah. There's a deeper level to it.
Yeah. Again, I give the example of I've given this example before of music.
Right.
The notes are there, the same notes. I can play it, and Horowitz can play it, and it sounds different.
Yes.
For some reason, it sounds different. The point is that there is something else than just the objective written text, either whether it's musical notes or a mathematical formula. There's the humanity behind it. There's the passion. There's the insight. There's the inspiration. All of that is somehow magically weaved into the math that you see.
Yeah.
And that you only can pick it up from a living teacher.